Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome to my YouTube channel with the yet another series of lecture that is about the literary terms. And this lecture will go through the important literary term in an alphabetical orders. So let's go through the first one that I have got here in this lecture. Act. An act is a major unit of action in a play. It is just like similar to a chapter in a book. Depending on their length, plays can have as many as 5 acts. Then the further acts can also be divided into the scenes as well. So act is just like a chapter in a book for your easiness in a simple words. An allegory is a work with two levels of meaning. The first one, the upper level, is a literal one and symbolic one, that is the hidden. In such a work, most of the characters, objects, setting and events represent the abstract qualities. Personification is often used in traditional allegories. As in fable or parable, fable is a short tale in which usually animals are the characters, and parable is same likewise, in which a short story in which usually the character may be the human as well as animal as well. The purpose of an allegory may be to convey truth about life, to teach religious or moral lesson, or to criticize social institution. The best example of allegory from the English literature can be seen the John Bunyan's most important work, the Pilgrim's Progress, in which the Christian, the hero of Bunyan's work, represent the all people. Other allegorical works include Mr. Worldly Wise Man, Faithful and Hopeful. The allegory traces Christian effort to achieve a godly life. Alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of consonants and consonant sound at the beginning of words. Poets use alliteration to impart a musical quality to their poems, to create mode, to reinforce meaning, to emphasize particular words, and to unify lines or stanzas. Note the examples of alliteration in the following lines can be seen here. Out from the marsh, from the foot of misty hills, bogs bearing God's hearted Grendel came. It's an example that I've taken from the Beowulf. It's a old English literature. In this line, you can see that if word the fa sound is repeated consecutively, out from the marsh, from the foot of misty. In this line you can see that fa sound in the from, then in the from, and then in the foot. Then another example can be seen in the marsh, and then in the misty ma sound is repeated, and then the bogs and bearing ba sound is repeated, then in gods and grendel ga sound is repeated. Alliteration is basically the repetition of consonant sound in the beginning of words. Allusion. Allusion is an indirect reference to a person, to place, an event, or a literary work with which the author believes that the reader will be familiar. Actually, the purpose of allusion is to uh, give uh, emphasis on the thing that you want to explain. Here, the best example can be seen in Thomas Gray's work, LG Written in a Country Churchyard. The speaker alludes to Milton, the famous English poet, and the Cromwell, the leader of the Puritan revolt in the 17th century. So this was about the allusion. Ambiguity. Ambiguity is a technique in which a word, phrase, or event has more than one meaning or can be interpreted in more than one way. Some writers deliberately create this effect to give richness and depth of meaning. So this pictorial representation can be seen an ambiguous sentence. The chicken is ready to eat. It can be interpreted in either ways. You can say that chicken is ready to eat something, or if you say somebody that chicken is ready to eat, so the person will understand, will comprehend that the chicken is cooked and it is ready to eat, mean that meal is ready and you come and have it. So this pictorial representation, it creates an ambiguous effect that the chicken is ready to eat something. An analogy is a point-by-point comparison between two things for the purpose of clarifying the less familiar of the two objects. The two objects that we are going to compare, both of these have a common characteristics or the common trait on the basis of which we are going to draw a metaphorical comparison between them. Time is money, so spend it wisely. As money is important in the eyes of the most of the people, so some wise people take the time so valuable and so important, so they say that the time should also be spent as wisely as you take care and the spending money. So here is beautifully drawn metaphorical comparison between two things. Anecdote. An anecdote is a brief story that focus on a single episode or event in a person's life that is used to illustrate a particular point. Anecdote can be taken any of the incident from your life. For example, if I say that I work hard and paid off, mean that any incident or a chapter or even from the person's life, you can take that as an example, so that may be used as an anecdote. An antagonist is usually the principal character in opposition to the protagonist. Protagonist means the main hero or hero of a narrative or a drama. The antagonist can also be a force of nature as well. It is actually anti to the hero, to the main character. This might be the villain. Antithesis. Antithesis is a figure of speech in which sharply contrasting and opposite words, phrases, clauses, or sentences are juxtaposed to emphasize a point. In a true antithesis, both the ideas and grammatical structure are balanced. Here you can see the example. Man proposes, God disposes. Here two antithetical ideas are yoked. Day and night, morning and evening, evening pass and fail. These are some examples of the antithesis. So that's all about today's lecture. If you like my video, please appreciate it and thank you for watching.